Hello, this is Danny Doyle, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Cursed Shadows of Valentia. And I'm here with Jacob. And
we're on Almside again.
We're on Almside again. We actually have, it's been, what, 10,000 years? You know, throw the meme on screen. I won't do it.
It's
I
been
don't
a
edit
long
these.
time.
We're ready to march.
We're ready to march. Alm, we've been waiting.
All of us.
I swear we've been ready this whole time. Please don't make us wait anymore. This is the whole army, by the way.
We have the Draco Shield on. I forgot we had the Draco Shield on Matilda.
We have fewer units available to us than showed up in the cutscene.
It's so funny. I just did this map yesterday for my playthrough that I'm doing. I just did this map. Yeah.
You know, Gaiden is funny because Alm gets the 5-range bow.
It's very silly.
Alright, I think we just fight.
I think we just kind of go for it. Like, what could go wrong?
So we put Tobin
Also,
up here with
really
Titania.
good map music.
True. I really like this music.
Me too.
It says fan about every track in the game.
Aren't I so original?
Local fan says Shadows of Valentia has good music. More at 11. Also, Hunter's Volley is pretty powerful. I have all the hottest
Killer Bow's
takes.
a really good weapon.
Okay. We'll move you forward for support purposes. We'll move you over here. And, the most powerful cleric in existence will go over here to support her husband. Oh god. Think about how strong she'll be upon promotion. It's gonna be wild.
She doesn't even get like any more fun spells or anything. What she has is just what she has.
Does Clive have some sort of like killer bow bonus, or is the 45 crit just from the weapon?
Oh,
it's 3 stars, right? So like, yeah, I guess it must just be super strong.
Of crit.
How much crit do you get for a 3-star bow?
Let's find out. 15.
Because, like, I'm used to the
Also,
30 crit you get from regular killer weapons. Well, I mean, he has to show off for his wife. Or, wife? Fiance? I don't know.
Fiance, I think.
Do they get married in their paired ending, or is she just his forever fiance?
They actually do get married.
Wow. I didn't realize that Rigel hired
good.
stormtroopers and no one else.
Oh, one shot. It's almost like he's a gold knight with a rider's bane.
It's almost as if Gray is actually the strongest unit in the game, and anyone who says otherwise is just butthurt.
So true, though. So, I checked. Oh, is it +3? It's 3 stars. Wow, he's just getting a lot of extra critical, I guess.
Is it like his speed and skill?
+30.
Is it like his speed and skill?
It's luck and skill, I believe, in SoV and Gaiden.
Yeah, it's only 30.
30. So he's getting like 18 crit from stuff, which
14 luck, 18 skill, yeah.
So 7 plus 9, that's 69. 16 more. So yeah, that adds up.
All right, we want to kill the
archer. These armors.
There we go. I was struggling.
Don't worry,
I think we have. So we have armor crush though. We have armor crush.
Oh, we do. It's still not
isn't
very
that
helpful.
the same amount of? No, it's slightly more. It's 6 more.
Barely more. Also, I forgot that we gave boots to Tobin.
Why would we not give boots to Tobin? He's the best unit in the game.
Obviously, I mean he's a gold knight, and from what I've heard, paladins and stuff like that are the best unit in the game because movement.
I do think that like tiering SoV units is like hard because so often it's just like they're gaining what they gain from their classes, right? Especially with the villagers, where like, yes, There's, like, obviously, you know, there's different strats that you can only do with specific villagers, right? Like, you know, this one has a good spell list or whatever, this one has the speed to do whatever and whatever, but, like, as we've demonstrated with Gray, right? Like, Forged Rider's Bane plus Gold Knight bases do a lot.
Yes,
Even
that's
for the
doing
shitty,
most of the work here.
even for the shitty units. And then, like, you wind up with, on Celica's side, it's a little bit more distinct, but I don't know. I'm just not super in touch with the SoV meta, and every time someone has tried to explain it to me, I've just been like, my eyes glaze over. Like,
a lot of the
so
villager
hard.
stuff comes down to, you kind of have to decide which one is the best at being the class you need, because you really need like a mercenary, so you can dread loop them into a really good bow knight. But then you have to decide which one's the best mercenary, because due to the low amount of swords, you have one mercenary who gets to use really good swords.
Yeah.
But then if you have a second mercenary, they're not nearly as good because they're just stuck using the generic sword or like an iron sword. So it's this weird diminishing utility where you say, sure, you know, all three villagers work really well as mercenaries just because mercenary bases. Like, your first mercenary gets the really good sword, your second one gets the leftover, and then your third one is just using a generic sword. That is such a cool victory pose.
No offense, Jacob, but you just tried to explain the SoV meta to me again, and my eyes glazed over again.
Understood.
I get that, like, you don't I get you don't send them all into Merc, is a thing. Because, like, you only have one lightning sword. But the lightning sword isn't even good after part 1, really.
It's the law of diminishing utility, where the more you have of something, the less useful it becomes.
Yeah.
That's it in very simple terms.
But then, like, apparently Archer Villager isn't good, even though Archers are, like, really good.
Some of that's because the steel bow is too inaccurate for a lot of stuff, and you only have one iron bow, so you might as well just let Python do everything you need with the iron bow.
But can't you just forge it into a killer bow? Like what we did? We have 2 killer bows?
It takes a lot of resources, though. And if you're not willing to stop in, because we had a lot of food we sold. We sold a lot of food.
Well, that's because, Alm doesn't need to give his soldiers rations. Alm has decided that the killer bow is more important than giving his soldiers proper rations.
I love the thought of this promoted Regalian paladin not doing any damage to the funny little cleric girl.
That's okay, the funny little cleric girl is, gonna destroy these armors.
Woo!
I can't believe we fucking got Jetta's Draco shield and just sent it to Matilda.
35 times 2.
And we're done!
We're done!
Alright, do you just...
Oh, right, there's like more enemies up there.
The enemy. The enemy!
The enemy! You could
Um,
just have Clive on the fortress, just snipe them constantly with shenanigans.
Killer bows? Yeah.
Killer bow.
We have to have his wife heal him, but then I do think after that, that's a good idea. Because, like, they're gonna have to go around because of the
69.
forest.
And he could just sit there and do funny stuff. Healing AI.
Don't worry. We got this.
The one range.
Boom. Well, I mean, she was gonna take 1 damage. Like, I'm not worried about her taking a counter at 1 range. I'm sorry. I value
I just
her
never get to
getting
see the one
closer
range.
to Clive more than that. Oh, they've started moving for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Barely.
Oh my god.
Yo. I think he's dead.
She looks so fucking baller. This is peak Matilda performance. Everyone debates Clive versus Matilda, and that confuses me because Clive is a bow knight and Matilda is a cleric. So like, Why do people compare these units to each other? Why is there the debate? I don't understand it.
They're completely different units, as you can see. Oh, now they're really moving.
They're schmoving. Okay, we can recovery. I mean, we could just do this.
I like that idea a lot.
Shall I then?
It's worked for us so far.
Go for a crit.
You'll crit.
Only death awaits those.
The good music. This track is so hype.
So, in Gaiden, is this map just a generic Cavalier?
Yeah, it's a guy who just reuses Slade's portrait. It's just some dude.
Even though Slade was, like, an important plot person.
He's not actually an important plot person in Gaiden. He's
Oh,
just
really?
some guy.
I
Yeah,
thought this
he's
might
just a
be, like,
dude.
the Chagall Muhammad thing. Do you
Nope,
remember Chagall Muhammad?
I do. He's because Chagall's so important in like chapters 2 and 3 of FE4, and then
Yeah.
suddenly his portrait gets reused in chapter 8 for some reason.
Chagall is probably the most important antagonist in Generation 1 who is not Arvis.
So it makes very little sense why, of all people, his portrait gets reused.
You could even make the argument that he's more important than Arvis.
Allow me.
Yeah, you really could.
Because,
it's
like,
not.
you
Oh.
don't fight Arvis. Arvis is
Yeah, he just
only
kind of-
important in the end when, like, he kills Sigurd, spoilers
The thing
for a
happened. Yeah.
30-year-old game.
Oh no. Do the thing.
I don't know, people get really weird about the fact that Sigurd dies in Fire Emblem 4 and say it's a spoiler. But Seliph was on the box art. Like, it was not sold as a surprise.
we have a
It was
core.
not supposed to be a surprise when it first came out. So I think it's a little bit like...
Odd.
It's definitely shocking, like, if you don't know about it, it is definitely shocking, but the impact is still there even if you know about it. Like, it's still tragic to have all these people that you care about die.
Yeah. I knew about it going into it, and it was still pretty upsetting. Yo, free Iron Lance.
I forgot Fernand was on this map. He's such a nothing. Speaking of
FP6
nothing,
looking
that round of combat was nothing.
Yo, you gotta get the boss combo between Clive and Fernand.
That's okay,
I'm
like,
assuming-
he's boosting his accuracy because he's on a forest tile, so we can just use our Nosferatu mage to get around that, right? To accurately hit him.
True.
Also, Clive and
They don't
Fernand
have
don't
boss
have their
combo
boss
very
conversation. What the fuck?
That's very upsetting. I thought they would. I think they do in part 3.
Isn't Fernand, like, Clive's best friend?
They were best friends, and then Fernand said, "I only want to work with rich people." and
Yeah.
left.
And so it's, like, kind of supposed to be, like, tragic or whatever, but Fernand's got a very punchable face, so I don't care.
I also don't think he's around long enough for it to really hit, because he leaves the cutscene, he appears.
Yeah. I know that the DLC is a map where you, like, control Clive and Fernand prior to the events of this game. And
Oh yeah,
then
there's
I
a couple
know
DLC in that.
the ROM hack remake, or demake, depending on how you think about it, Sacred Echoes, has Fernand as a playable unit for some maps. Before he leaves, he's like Orson Extended, because, like, he's available for more than just one map. You know,
The RNG must be
it's
bugged.
okay. The only reason she's missing him is he's on a terrain tile. She'll have better accuracy when she's facing people who aren't getting forest bonuses.
You need to stop before people believe you.
What do you mean? I'm spreading correct information. I want
Me
people
when I
to
spread
believe me.
misinformation on the internet.
Oh, she got skill. Okay, she'll be more accurate now. There we go. Accuracy problem solved.
I'm leaving. I'm gonna make a whole response to this video.
We'll be right back. We will be right back. Okay, this next map is mostly witches and then a couple of dreadfighters and mercs. You were saying this is one of the very few times that you fight mercenaries in Almorthout, right?
Yeah, because if you think about it, you fight the Leather Shield guy way back in part 1.
Iconic.
But if I'm remembering correctly, there hasn't been a single mercenary up until this point again, outside of in Almrout.
I thought
There's a bunch of calves.
A bunch of armors
And
and a lot of
a bunch of
like
witches and
arcanists.
arcanists, yeah.
But otherwise, the mercenaries are mostly on Celica's side.
Yeah, huh. Interesting.
Which you never really think about. It kind of makes this map almost feel a little out of place. Like, out of nowhere, there's no armors, there's no soldiers.
Oh,
You're
damn.
just fighting witches and dreads.
This witch must have much more avoid than the enemies on the previous map because that skill isn't actually helping Matilda's hit rate.
I can't believe this.
What, you don't believe that skill increases hit? That's literally how that's what the stat does. We're done!
We're done! You know, now that I think about it, I think the reason this map feels so out of place, I noticed this. That was definitely a warp.
I think she's trying to get to the heal tile. But Jacob, skill, a hex affects hit rate and the frequency of critical hits.
I never thought I'd be saying this, but people, go read the wiki for a sec. Go to the SoV section of the wiki before you try to play this game now.
The Pitfalls wiki does not tell the truth. You know this, Jacob. This is known.
Oh.
It is known to be true. I'm a little
But
upset
now
that he didn't dodge. He does have terrain on his side after all.
Oh my gosh, you're doing so much psychic damage right now.
It's okay. I'll take the high ground, Anakin. So she only has now she only has 66 hit on me because I'm in a forest.
You're awful.
Okay. If we grab below the Sophia, do we have? We don't even have fucking. Okay.
Double lion.
We don't have
can
double
still,
lion
like,
yet. I
attack.
should have. Yeah, I should have just used the killer bow then.
Just crit.
It's okay. We're training below the Zofia to double lion levels.
I love how many of the crit animations use the Gaiden animations.
How so?
The that crit animation he just did, where he holds the sword up for a sec and then jumps, that's his crit animation in Gaiden.
Oh, that's really neat.
And for anyone who's watching, you can back at him and check it. But whenever I think it was Gray just did a critical against an enemy, and it kind of does the animation where they run forward and then slide to a stop while spinning the lance. That's the generic and oh, you can see it right here.
Yeah, let's see.
That's the generic attacking animation for the Gold Knights in Gaiden. They run forward and twirl the lance while they slide to a stop.
That's really interesting. No,
Yeah.
Tobin, dodge! You're in the forest. Oh, I thought Echo's terrain was supposed to make you really dodgy. What is she doing?
Oh, this one actually has enough HP to cast. Okay.
Oh, I thought she had 1 HP.
I thought that was the 1 HP one again.
Yeah.
Warping again. I was so
See, look,
confused.
this guy only
Okay.
has 40 hit because of the forest. Are you trying to claim that the forest isn't helping Tobin avoid these sword attacks? I can't believe you would spread information like that. His name is Scissors. He bears us no grudge.
Oh.
Oh, dodge.
Oh.
See?
Oh.
Dodge.
that was the longest slide forward for a kick I've ever seen.
It's okay. We will rewind.
You know, I think this map feels so out of place because I realized this, I think it was off recording, where I realized that this map is optional in the original Gaiden. Instead of forking between Nui Baba and Zeke after this map, it forks before this map. So I think the reason why this enemy composition is the way it is it's to make you realize, since you're trying to go fight Nui Baba instead, you're fighting a different type of enemy.
Oh, fuck.
You're no longer fighting the Regalian soldiers and armors and stuff like that. You're fighting Nui Baba's dreads and witches.
Fuck, we can't reach with provisions. Oh, we
run
can reach
away,
with
though.
Matilda, though. Okay.
Leave this to me.
I was like, I can't get Olm over
Recover.
there with provisions, but I can recover. Okay.
Plus, you have 10 moves, so I think the Autumn Dread's the only one who can reach him. Just hit.
How do you know that Dread's a bottom? Have you watched the tier list that Akira and I did? Is that how?
I'd be more impressed that you included that Dread.
We included the blacksmith. I used Rinka's portrait.
Oh, that's funny.
Look, the blacksmith is the most important character in Shadows of Valentia. We had to include her.
Badoosh. Mom's animations are so cool.
Alright, and then you can provisions. You don't get regular bread. You get hard bread. Yes, I really feed you that stuff. I value you that little gray. What is she doing? What is she cooking?
Okay. All of those forest tiles, and she warped on the plains tile in the middle of all of them.
She's also, again, at 1 HP. She warped away from the heal tiles.
I don't think we will ever fully understand which AI.
Is it not just completely random?
It might be. I would not be shocked if it was.
It's funny because Witch AI and Tearing Saga is, like, actually really simple. They have a percentage chance to warp to a square where they can only reach 1 unit. And if they do that, then they will presumably attack that 1 unit.
My guess
That's
is
it. That's the
she
whole
saw
thing.
I think she saw she could reach someone if she had the HP to cast. So I imagine what she tried to do was it rolled her chance to warp. She got it, but she couldn't attack, so she just kind of sat there.
Oh,
Nice critical.
so sick. This is the part that hurts.
Never
Oh!
count Toby now.
I just understood. So that had the wind effect, right?
Uh-huh.
I just understood why it's called Tempest Lance. Tempest is in
Yes.
Wind Tempest. I thought it
Yes.
was like to represent
cool
like
name.
gamble or whatever, and I was like, it's so weird that like it doesn't reduce your hit, right? Like, because there are attacks in 3 houses, like combat arts in 3 houses that like
Lower your
have an
hit.
upside and a downside, right? So like they'll be like you have you know, higher might but
Reckless
less.
Abandon, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I think Wild Abandon like lowers your hit and increases your strength by a bunch or something.
And then there's like Exhaustive Strike, which breaks the weapon but boosts the power based on how much durability it consumes. Like those sorts of things. I should have gotten the killer bow. We're gonna fix that mistake.
Whoop.
The turn wheel really is just like such a crutch that I can use to not think.
I really like it for misinputs and stuff.
I mean, that wasn't a missed input. That was literally just me being a big, dumb, stupid ped. Alright, we gotta make sure that Gray goes on the forest. Because the witches are really dangerous. There we go. And then Clive can attack from the forest.
So much damage. Oh.
There we go.
Easy.
And we're done
We're done!
with the video. So like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in next time when we go to Nui Baba's abode and recruit Tatiana, which we're definitely going to do.
So